Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh and this is Everything Jeeping. Today, we're not actually going to be working on 392. We have another Jeep coming. It's my friend's Jeep. It's a 2024 4xe, all white. And what he wants to do is add distinction applied pieces, including handles, door handles, the fuel cover, the mirrors, and we'll give you some before and after images and maybe a few short tips on how to install this and make your install as easy as possible. Stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content. Okay, and the 4xe is just pulling in, and what we're going to do is take a quick walk around so you can see what the black handles look like, the fuel cover, and the charging port all look like before we get started. So great looking Jeep, but we're going to make some enhancements. And the first thing we're going to do is start with the mirrors. So just kind of giving you a quick look. I do have to say that the products that come from Distinction Applied, high quality. They look great. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is open the door, unscrew these 3 retaining bolts. It's super easy, and they're not on tight. You would think that factory tight would be really tight, but I'm doing this one-handed, and it's super easy to get these off. All right, once you get the 3 bolts out, you're just going to easily wiggle this out. And if you have adjustable mirrors or any sensors in there, you're going to have a retaining wire harness there. So just keep an eye on that. And just take your time, no rush to get this out. It does take a second, and you're going to want to push that little push pin out. This is the new mirror. We're going to plug it in, position it, and then just reach around and a couple of screws, tighten it down, and they look amazing. They look great. All right, now we're turning our attention to the charging door. Now this can come out a couple different ways. You can pry it out, or you can take the cowling off and pop it out. We just decided to pry it out. And this is a quick look at the product before we get started. And it does look, again, high quality. It comes with basically everything you need. There is going to be a piece we're going to take out. So after we pry out the old one, so this is the old one, that little gray box there attached to the wire harness, you're going to have to take that out, move that over to the new one. Super easy. It just pops right out and pops back in. We're going to attach it to the wire harness. And you can see I'm doing this one-handed. And while you can't hear the satisfying clip, there it is. Push it down the lock. And then I'm just going to position this. I just slowly push those clips back in. Everything's lined up. Looks good. And then I'm going to orient the plug. And close up the door. And here's a complete look. Looks amazing. So to be honest, this is the first time I have seen any of the Distinction Applied products, and they do look amazing. The quality seems next level. They feel factory when you're looking at them and when they're in your hand. So super easy to do. The door handles, we're going to replace all 5 on this Jeep. So you start by opening the door, peel back this little sticker, and we're trying to do this in really close to real time. Now that sticker reveals a hole there that you just put in a Torx bit, and you're just gonna lightly unscrew this. You can see, again, I'm doing this by hand, and what you're wanting to do is not get the bolt out, but unscrew it enough where you start to feel maybe a little bit of resistance as you get towards the end. And then what you're going to want to do is open the door and hold on to that front piece there at the same time, and it should lift that little piece out. Now, if it doesn't come out like it did for us, put your Torx pick back in, do a little bit more loosening, and that does the trick. It starts to move. There we we go. So I just pull up the door handle, and this is a lot easier if you have two hands. I'm doing all of this one-handed. So once you get the front piece out, you're able to shift the door handle forward towards the opening of the door. And then this one, because it has sensors, we're going to unclip it. And again, pretty easy to do, all one-handed. And we're going to set that down. We got the new one here. We're going to plug it in. Now you do want to make sure that any of these plugs that you really do get a good tight connection. All right, and that it doesn't back out. So plug this in, just kind of wiggle that harness back in. And you only have to do this for the front doors and the rear tailgate. All right, so we put those pieces back in, and what we're going to do is go back and tighten that screw that we untightened. And you just want to hold the front piece in place. That looks good. Put the sticker back. Don't forget to put the sticker back. And we're going to test the door handle and then close it up, and you get a good look at it. There you go. All right, and here we go, just a quick finished look of the front door. Now we're going to turn our attention to the rear door. You're going to pull the seal back. Again, this one will reveal the hole, and you're going to use a longer Torx bit to get to the screw, but basically same process. And now we're going to turn our attention to the rear door. Now, this is a little bit different, but basically the same. So I use the same tool for the front door, and I just unscrew this by hand until I feel enough resistance where it feels like maybe that screw is backed out all the way. And then I'm going to try to remove the top piece of the door handle. And you can see it comes right out. Again, pull it up. There you go. And disconnect the wire harness. And I grab the next one, and you're going to get a quick look at the finished product here in just a second. So this is all the work on this side of the Jeep. Everything is looking good. There's the door handle in the rear. It looks amazing. Okay, so now we're going to turn our attention to the gas cap. This is super easy, but you do have to take your rear tail light out. So open your tailgate, remove the cover, and back out that one screw. And we didn't unplug it. We just pull the tailgate, the tail light out, and leave it dangling there. And you're able to reach in and loosen the clips for the gas cover, and it just comes right out. Now, because it's a 4xe, you have a wire harness and you have this fuel release cable. So the new one has the release cable attached to it already. So we're just going to have to fish that through, and we'll show you how to do that really quickly. It's not complicated. So this is from the outside of the Jeep, and you can see that hole there. We're going to fish the wire through. So I like to use some kind of rod to just fish everything through. So this is a short little plastic rod, and it goes through the hole where it's going to live on the inside, and it comes around through the outside, so you can see it there. All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to bring in the new gas cap. We're going to plug in the wire harness, and we're going to feed that cable through. And once you pull it through, you're able to place that little plunger. And then I'm going to put the camera down so I can connect that to the little plastic piece. There it is. And then just put that back into position so that your emergency release pull tab on the inside. And we're just going to gently make sure everything is connected. So my friend and I are just working together. Make sure the wire goes through and that the fuel cable line goes through as well, nice and smooth. And this just snaps right back in. All right, so another important thing to note here is we're going to put the gas cap back on. So don't forget that. But there is a retaining clip that will come into screen here in just a second. All right, so we realize, oh, we forgot to transfer that clip over. So this is the old door. We pop it off with a little pry tool. There it is. And we're just going to stick it back into the new door. Fuel cap will go back on. This plugs right in, super easy. We're basically done. We're gonna put the tail light back in, screw that screw back down, put the cover back on, close it all up. All right, one final walk around, and you can see all the parts here, the charging cap, the door handles, and the gas cap there, along with the tailgate. Everything looks amazing. The products are high quality, and I'm thinking about adding some distinction applied to my Jeep, so stay tuned for those videos.